Hello, you're welcome back to my channel. How you doing? Hope you're doing great. All right, so today I'll be talking about Vamia again. The last time I talked about Vamia was like not long ago, anyways. But I focused on like the tuition fee, because Finland is planning to introduce tuition fee to vocational schools in Finland. And I was talking about Vamia because Vamia is a vocational school. If you're hearing about Vamia for the first time, it's a vocational school in Finland. It's located in Vasa. I also talked about Vamia, about the upcoming applications. And the good news is this application will be open tomorrow, November 17th, 2025. Okay, so how many of you are ready to apply? Do you have all the documents? Or do you think this is a good choice? Or are you contemplating if you really want to? But before we proceed, I want us to go through this update on their website. Mind you, when I talked about tuition fees, this particular update was not there, and this news is on 23rd of from the 23rd of October 2025. So which means like they are giving current update. So if you're interested in any program in Vamia, please I'll advise you to always check the website, okay? And also any vocational school that you're interested in, please make sure you check their website to get more information about application periods, about tuition fees, about like just anything in general as pertain to that program or school is very important. So they are saying they're going ahead to open application based on their current schedule. So it's not changed. It's still November 17 for especially the cook and the waiter programs. And they've not received any information about tuition fees. But one thing you have to note is that the duration of the program will be shortened from 3 years to 2 years as a result of the tuition fee reform. So if you're applying to this cook and waiter programs, note that it's no longer 3 years, it's gonna be 2 years program. 2 years program. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but personally I think it's good news because you're studying this for 2 years, so that's it's beneficial to you. Okay. So they also advised, I already said, that you should go through. For those of you that like you really want to study the mechanics and platter weather program and you are outside of Finland, I'm so sorry because these programs will not be available for application this November, okay? And even in spring 2026. So it will only be available in spring 2026 for locals. So those that are already in Finland, okay? So not for international students. But the cook and the waiter programs, the application opens tomorrow, the 17th of November at 10 a.m. And it goes through right up to the 21st of November at 3 p.m. 2025. So you can see this tab, apply. The application form is open from this date to this date. So if you come to the website by tomorrow after 10 in the morning, you'll be able to click here and it will take you to the application form. Okay. So one thing I want you to also note is that, sorry. Oops. I love what Vamia is doing. You know, I've always talked about scammers, taking advantage of international students. And I really, really love the fact that some vocational schools have been open and telling students about the current situation when it comes to their schools or their programs. And they are encouraging students as well to take note of this. So it says, we do not charge tuition fees for our vocational qualifications. Situation right now, so which means this statement was published in October 2025. So there is no tuition fee. So this is not about Tabi saying that as of the 16th of November 2025, that I'm talking about this on my YouTube channel. You can study in Vamia for free because they do not charge fees for this program, okay? However, please note that living and housing costs in Finland are quite high. Make sure you have sufficient financial resources for your studies. There are two things I want to comment here. And the first is the fact that they are still saying it, that they do not charge fees for their vocational qualifications. I've lived in Finland for a while, and one thing I know is that when information start moving around, like news start flying about a particular topic, they take it into consideration, whichever organization that is responsible or that is kind of like linked to it. And I'm so happy that Vamia is doing this, because I've talked about international students paying, some partners who are scammers. They're paying as much as 10,000 euros for a vocational program that is free. So they do not charge it. It is free. It is free as of now. We are still waiting for the reform, for the outcome, and when they will implement it. But as of now, it is free. That's one thing that I really want to state. So if someone is requesting money from you to come study in Vamia, please note it is free. The second thing I want to comment on is the fact that you need sufficient financial resources. Remember, I talked about it has been in the news that international students are struggling, and Vasa was one of the cities which was cited that international students, they are going through really tough financial situations. And Vamia is still reminding international students that even though it is free, these programs, or Vamia, studying in Vamia is free of charge, you need to have sufficient financial resources for your studies, to pay your house rent and your day-to-day living expenses. Yes, it is very important, because even when you are applying for residence permit, Migri will tell you more about this. But they are stating it here, these two things, they are stating it here because this has been coming up in the news, the struggles of international students in Finland, okay? Most of them come and they start finding it difficult even to feed or pay their bus tickets. And the second one, international students have been scammed when it comes to vocational schools, because they still some partners or scammers. I don't like even calling them partners, because you're actually, reaping, like taking advantage of these students. So they've been taking money, even though the programs are free. So these two information is very important. It's key to all international students, and I want to point that out as well. Now, they will tell you more about the requirements. So if you want to apply to any of their programs, these are the requirements. So you must have a necessary qualification for studying the field and completing a degree. So you need to have your upper secondary school certificate. Your motivation. So you'll be asked to explain like why you want to study in Vamia and pursue a qualification in that field as well. If you are suitable for the tax in the field, sufficient health requirements for the chosen field. So are you stable enough health-wise? You have adequate language proficiency for the field as well. So let's focus on the English language criteria, English language proficiency now. So you have to be at least 18 years of age. Yeah, that's a general, but for the English, you need original certificate in English, finish. No, that's not where I'm talking. That's not where I should be. Okay, you have successfully completed the English language proficiency test. So that's Duolingo English test with at least the minimum score required by the school. So see below. So if you scroll down, you see the minimum, so the lowest score. You have a valid passport. So the key factors in the selection criteria, we are primarily seeking applicants who have a good command of English and some relevant education or work experience in the field. Yeah, because our students, they keep asking, must I have a work experience, relevant education or work experience in the field? So a good command of English. So you must demonstrate it through your Duolingo test and some relevant education or work experience in the field. So for example, if I'm applying for a cook or waiter program and I've once worked as a cook or I have experience working as a waiter, then it gives you an upper hand. But if I've never worked as a waiter or a cook, but I have some, relevant educational, qualification or my educational background aligns with it, it gives me an upper hand as well. Okay. But does that mean you need all of this to be able to apply? No. The most important thing is that you need to pass it the Duolingo test that will qualify you for you to apply. You cannot complete your application after the application period has closed. Yes. So that's very important. Then here they're telling you about the residence permit. That's something you can look at. And these are the planned schedules. So you will have this that is ongoing and you begin your studies in August 2026. There's another cook and waitress application period starting in April 2026. So this is the second one for next year. And so they're telling you about it. So for the English proficiency test, let's look at the minimum. The minimum score required for the Duolingo English test is 85 points. So that's the minimum. So it means that if you have 85 points, yes, you're eligible. If you have 84, you're not. So 85 is the minimum. So anything above 85, you're good to go. And one thing I want to note is that even though they're asking for 85 points, if you have 150 points, that doesn't mean you'll be admitted automatically. No. They have other things to consider. Like I said, your educational background, they also have like your work experience, they also have to go through your motivation to study that program. There are a lot of things to consider here. So if you have really high English language points for the English language test, that's not like a prerequisite or yeah, so that's not like a reason for them to say, oh, you're admitted because your points were like really high in English. No. Okay. So to register for the Duolingo test, if you go here, you'll be enlightened. They'll tell you more about how to register for the Duolingo test if you click on this link. And when you're registering, you have to choose Vamia as your school, and you have to save the language test certificate file and attach it to your application. So when you're applying, so which means you have to take this Duolingo test before you submit your application form. Okay. So they're saying that the English language test is part of our scoring system and therefore it cannot be waived. I'm really going slow. I don't want to rush this video because someone was asking like, oh, I studied in English. So can they consider? No, they say it cannot be waived. Like you must. They don't accept any, whether it's diploma or qualifications as proof of language skill. They don't. You must write the Duolingo test. Okay? All right. So when they start telling you that due to high volume of emails regarding this matter, we are unable to respond to inquiries related to this, it means they're already telling you that even if you want to start, sending them emails about, oh, I have PhD and I've studied all my life in English, it's not important. Just go and take the Duolingo test. As simple as that. Okay, so if you are looking, you want to know more about the timeline, how to go through the application, what to upload, which document to upload, the information is here. Uh, how you should upload your documents, they are all here. And they tell you beginning of studies, when are you going to receive all the different notification about your results and everything. So they just actually clear and straightforward, so take our time and go through it. And you see at the bottom of this page also you have the application form. That's where the link to the application form, it will be open tomorrow. Okay, so now I don't know if you have any other information. And this is also one thing I want to point out. You shouldn't attach your bank information or health information or letters of recommendation to your application form. They don't need your bank information. Migrate. That's like when you get admitted and you're applying for a residence permit. That's when they'll need your bank information, your health insurance. The documents you should include in your application is your school certificate or upper secondary. If you're from Cameroon, let me just mention this here. If you're from Cameroon, you're not using your ordinary levels to apply. You're using your advanced level to apply. So that is upper secondary school certificate. Okay. Your Duolingo test result, you're including it, and then your passport. So did you see motivation letter there? Recommendation letter? No. So these are the 4 documents. I really, really am impressed how Vamia has taken out the time to, really point out. I think they've been a lot of misinformation to international students that for one, I know, because there are some questions I get from international students, and I'm like, hey, is it the same Vamia you're talking about, or is something else? So I am happy, and I really, 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 really pray and hope that if you really want to apply, you take out time to go through this information on their website, because everything is there. All your questions, they've received possible questions, and now they are just answering them and telling you, do not do this, do not do that. And I love this. And you can see here, I didn't even see this. I was just talking about motivation letter. And they have it here as well. Work or employment certificate is not mandatory. It's not. It's not something you must have or include in your application form. You do not need a motivation letter for the application. Oh, Vamia, you've done well. You make the work easy for me. Yeah, seriously, you don't need to. You don't need to. You don't need to. You don't have to. Okay. So it's really straightforward. If you have your passport, you have your Duolingo test, you have your upper secondary school certificate. If you have work employment certificate, it's fine. If you don't have, it's not mandatory. Then you have those 3 things to attach and submit your application form. Okay. All right. So tomorrow after 10, you're good to go. You can apply to Vamia. Remember, only the cook, waiter, and waitress programs are available. Any other program is not available for now. Okay. So I wish you all the best if you're applying, and I hope that you find it easy. Okay. Let me know in the comment section, are you applying or you still have doubts? Like I said, do not say, oh, what if I applied and then they introduce the fees? No, I'm not that sure. I'm not sure they are gonna do it from August 2025. 2026, I'm not that sure. But keep checking the website. And even if they do and you're admitted, you have the right to reject it, to not accept the study place. Okay? So it's a win-win for you. So just apply. If you are eligible, go through the application and submit it. Okay? All right. So see you when next you see me. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Bye.